Welcome to part 6 of our Dying Light 2 Stay Human Developer Tools Guide. In this video, we'll teach you how triggers and item spawners work. As you can see, I have a small village on my map. I want to add the ability to make the game more interactive by letting players activate switches. This is where the so-called triggers come into play. They can make an environment a lot more interactive for the player. To begin, we'll need a switch prefab. Open the prefab browser, choose Classes and write Switch in the search bar. Choose the switch prefab and place it on the map. Press Select. Let's move our way over to the Attributes window. In the Style field, you can find several switches which we can choose from. Go with something like SA Windmill 1. Just make sure that the pivot of this object is always placed on a surface so that the player's animation will work correctly. Also, remember that this white arrow represents a side from which the player will be able to activate the switch in the game. Let's name our switch somehow. How about something like Switch Village? Now we can add objects to the map that will be controlled by our switch. I have multiple lanterns, so I can add lights to them. Also, there's a campfire spot in the village, so I can add fire effects. Let's jump to the prefab browser and write Spot Shadow in the Lights category. Take the spot shadow and place it somewhere on the map. Click the Select tool, rotate our spot shadow and scale it up. When you're done, go for the Select tool again, this time to align it with our lantern. Open the Attributes window, extend the Light category to pick its color. Play around with the intensity. And don't forget, you can always rename it. Go with Switch Light 1 for now. Hold Shift on your keyboard and move our light to duplicate it. Set it to the next lantern and give it a different name. Repeat this process for every lantern in the area. The lights are ready. Now I need to add fire to my fireplace. Open the prefab browser window, choose FXs, and write Campfire in the search bar. Choose Campfire Prefab and place it on the map. In the attributes, we can rename it to Switch Fire. The last thing I would like to add is an item that the player can pick up. Let's open the prefab browser window, Classes, and write Item Spawner in the search bar. Choose Item Spawner Prefab and place it on the map to where you will want to rest your weapon. Go to Attributes and rename it to Pick Item. Expand Item Spawner. Click the 3 dots next to the ID. Here you can choose an item you want to spawn. It can be gear, a boost, weapon, or other. Let's write 2HS R24, which stands for a two-handed sharp weapon. Choose one of them, like maybe the one with the letter E. Press OK. Let's change the item's position so that it's not just floating. And it's ready. Now we need to connect our lights and FX to the switch. Do that, jump to Scene and select our switch. Then go to the Attributes window. Expand our switch category and click the plus icon that's next to the Controlled Objects field 5 times. One for each light and one for our FX. Click on the 3 dots of our first light and search for Switch Fire. We parented our fire effect to the switch. Now I need to parent the rest of our 4 lights. Let's click the 3 dots next to my second one. Go for Switch Light 1 and repeat this process for the rest of them. We've successfully made our switch the parent for all our objects via Controlled Objects. Let's zoom out a bit to see our whole scene. We seem to have all our lights and fire effects working smoothly. Now go to our Trigger State category and make sure it is set to Off. We always need to activate our switch in the game itself to see if it works as intended. If you change your mind about something, you're first going to have to turn M-State back to None. After you've gone back to readjust your objects, toggle it to Off and then Save. Yes, it's a bit of hopping back and forth between the 2 states, so don't forget this whenever you want to make changes. On that note, we can save and reload now since it is set to Off. Let's click the play button to see how our switch works in the game itself. Alright, so far the lights are off, and there are no campfire effects either. Let's change that and use our switch. Everything seems to be working fine. Our lights are on, the campfire effects are visible. Oh, and let's not forget our weapon that was waiting for us. Let's pick it up. If you check your inventory, our axe should be there. Everything seems to check out. Great! And that's all for part 6. In the next video, we'll prepare a set of prefabs and spawners needed to create our first quest. Thanks for watching.